Wow, what an ending to the episode. Episode 6 of The Last of Us. Here we go. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen it. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to, because we're almost at the brink to the point where it's Ellie by herself. Joel is recovering from a major wound, and we get to see her arc. Everything he's, been training, everything he's been teaching her come to fruition, and she has to figure out how to survive, save Joel. I always love that part of the game because it's one of the most intense moments of the game. Not just as a player, but the story part. If she fails, it's over. Everything's over. Interested to see how they bring that to life on screen. I'm interested to see how they get to that episode. Although the way this episode ends with her just over Joel as he's bleeding out from the bat wound. Homeboy swung at him with the bat, it broke, stabbed him, and I knew it was coming, and still, again, the show just draws me in and hitting the beats. We meet back with his brother, we meet the town. I was slightly thrown off from the time jump because I didn't expect it to be such a drastic time jump. It's about 3 months, and I didn't expect that level of a time jump. I thought we were gonna jump a little bit, of course, as we usually do, but was not prepared for that. But I love the town itself. I'll get to the fun part with that. Just the level of intensity to leave it on. I mean, it's a cliffhanger. Joel survives, obviously. We can't get any future without it, but still, it's a nice way to leave it off for people who don't know and how to push it forward. And from what I read, the next episode is the flashback, like DLC part of the game with Ellie, but I actually don't know a whole lot about that, so I'm intrigued because I get to watch that kind of almost brand new, completely blank. But now, we get to town. For a moment there, I really thought, because, we know Ellie's immune, obviously. I never understood, does it, like, the infection stay on her? She's still technically infected because, when she gets scanned, it comes out she's infected. So the whole moment with the dog is sniffing out Joel. Okay, cool, check, he's fine. And it goes to sniff her out, and you see Pedro Pascal, aka Joel, kind of like, oh shit, like he's having this, like, I don't know what to do. He's trying to figure it out. He looks scared. I was scared. We were scared. I was like, is the dog about to attack her? She's freaking out. I'm freaking out. Joel, you're not supposed to freak out, but you're freaking out. So what do we do here? And then she's like playing with the dog, and I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. Okay, cool. We're good. We're green, guys. All right. That intensity of a moment. Then boom, we meet his brother inside town, and they share this big hug. But I like the dynamic. He's mad at him because he went MIA. He didn't communicate. I've been looking for you. And he's sober. And he's super happy to see him because that means he's alive and he's doing well. And like, it's just amongst the craziness that's going on, you still have that brotherly bond, that sibling bond, where like, hey, you piece of shit, I'm worried. I thought you died. You didn't say anything. We were supposed to communicate. But also, I'm extremely happy you're alive. I missed you ass. I love that aspect of it. And we finally get to the point where Joel and Ellie have to confront each other and be like, look, we've been bonding. We've been through a bunch together. You are a father figure. I'm your daughter figure. I don't think they come to that point where like, look, do you care about me? Yes. Okay. Why I care about you? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to leave me? And Joel and Pedro Pascal had this crazy emotional situation when he's talking to his brother because he feels weak. He feels slow. He feels incapable of completing this. And he's afraid, super afraid. And not for himself, really. It's more so he's afraid to fail. He's afraid to fail another daughter. That we're finally there in the game, or in the show, that they're having this realization, at least because we knew it existed. They kind of knew it existed, but we're to the point where like, look, you're my papa and I'm your daughter. All right. When they venture out to the university, we get to see them bonding more. He's teaching her how to shoot. We know she's learned how to, take watch, and he's already been teaching her over time. Like, they've been bonding. So we're finally at the point where they accept each other and what they represent for one another. I'm loving the show. The emotional drive, the way they keep hitting beats, like I've said before, it's amazing. It's a beautiful show so far. Excited to see where it goes, to see how they give us the Ellie episode, basically. Because I remember in the game when you played it, it was it was interesting. And just having to deal with all this, like, because usually you just rely on Joel. Joel's your heavy hitter. When in doubt, Joel it out. And in this situation, Ellie has to grow up, so to speak, super quick. She has to put everything she's learned to work, to save his life, to save her life, to save the future. I want to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. I love hearing from you. Let me know. How do you feel about the show so far? Are you enjoying it? What was your favorite moment of this episode? What's your favorite overall moment of the show so far? And then how are you speculating? Speculate with me a little bit on where we move forward. We got a few more episodes left. But as always, until next time, stay safe, be well, y con mucho amor. Adios.